Well, today marks 40 years since the tragic Ash Wednesday bushfires tore through Victoria and South Australia, one of the nation's worst blazes to date. It will be an emotional day, remembering those we lost and reflecting on incredible stories of survival. Today's Isabella Stashkovsky met with firefighters from the front line who risked their lives for the community.
1 minute, it was just a tiny outbreak in a hill behind the town. The next, it was searing down, engulfing everything in its path.
So in this moment, you're actually underneath the truck with fire all around you?
Yeah. Just waiting for things to die down a little bit.
Don Garlick was just 19 years old on Ash Wednesday. He knew danger was ahead, but the gravity of it all wouldn't sink in till later.
When I left work, I could see the hills on fire, I could see the smoke kicking off. And so I drove to the little fire station where I was a firey at that point, knowing that it was going to be a bad day.
More than 180 fires burned across Victoria and South Australia on February 16, 1983. 75 people lost their lives, including 16 volunteer firefighters.
There, only a few houses are left standing. Firemen fought for what they could, but by morning it was evident how hopeless the situation was.
The Dandenong Ranges among the worst hit in Victoria. Towns like Cockatoo almost wiped off the map. Destruction as far as Lorne. The Adelaide Hills, ground zero in SA. It was the first time a state of emergency was declared.
Everything was just on fire everywhere. It was just exploding everywhere.
A Lilydale member that day, Don, was fighting fires and evacuating homes around Powell Town until they were surrounded.
It just started raining, fireballs, the wind just howling, just really pushing through the trees, sort of bending over. The driver and Captain Fred clearly realised we weren't going to make it into town, so they've just hoofed us across to the Forestry Commission. Got in under the truck with a couple of fog lines just to keep ourselves cool as the fire sort of raced around us.
There was nothing to do but wait under the truck. Don quickly took these photos.
As the night moved on, the real horror of the fire developed.
His team survived, but it wouldn't be till the next morning they would realise the extent of the devastation.
Now the radio was starting to report deaths around some places.
Today, like many, Don is thinking of the communities impacted, the firefighters who lost their lives. The CFA has shaped him, now a grandfather, a captain at Wendouree, with a career in ED nursing. He's watched the organisation evolve since joining in 1978.
Back then, just everybody piling in and hoping for the best. These days, the equipment's so much better, the trucks are so much bigger.
These trucks were made 50 years apart, and this vehicle is similar to what crews would have used in 1983. As you can see, there's virtually no crew protection. Over the past 40 years, there have been significant technological advancements, and this is what we have today, dramatically improving safety outcomes. Communication and training have also advanced. Every 12 months, crews prepare for the conditions Don experienced 40 years ago.
And it's essentially the truck getting engulfed in flames, and we go into what's known as a survival or a burn-over drill. Roll down the crew protection curtains. Get the wildfire blankets out now. Mayday, mayday, mayday. Caught in a burn-over situation, 3 persons on board. We require immediate assistance. Crew protection sprays are on.
History remains important. Over 14 years, this truck has been restored and uniforms worn in 83 preserved.
Got a woolen jacket here with buttons and just normal trousers and old-style boots. That was basically the kit of the day.
Commander Gavin Hope was also a volunteer on Ash Wednesday.
I went down blacking out behind Lorne, so the devastation from Anglesey right through to Lorne was horrendous. The houses lost and lives, of course, and the damage to the environment was immense.
CFA members want us to remember and reflect. As for the future, they see hope.
People coming from everywhere to help out. The whole country sort of stops and pays attention to those things and works out how to help. So yeah, I do have a lot of hope for it.
Gee, it's been, it feels like yesterday, doesn't it? And also the other bushfires that rocked Victoria.
Yep, absolutely.
They were just awful as well. So the job of our firefighters, you're never far from our minds and what you have done and sacrificed. Well,
Hey there today, fans. Sarah and
What's my name again?
Oh my goodness, Karl.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel, though. Subscribe now for more news, special reports, and amazing Aussie stories.
And Karl misbehaving,
Whoa,
of course.
that never happens.
Always happens.
What's she talking about?
Always happens.